All right, as we mentioned to you at the top of the hour, there are plenty stories unfolding in the country's courts today. The trial of alleged contract-killing mastermind Vusimuzi Matlala and his co-accused is set to get underway at any moment now in the High Court in Johannesburg. Matlala faces charges linked to the attempted murders of businessman Joe Sibanyoni, media personality Tebogo Thobejane and musician DJ Vettys, amongst others. Acting National Commissioner Lieutenant General Puleng Dimpane has praised investigators for linking the accused to all three cases through forensic, ballistic and firearm evidence. Nira Tlakuza is our reporter who is inside court as we wait for proceedings to begin, and she joins us now live. And Neria, some of the, shall we call them, characters in this case are already in the room, including Joe Sibanyoni.
Good morning to you, Ayanda, and to the viewers. Indeed, some of the people who are involved in this case are indeed already here in the High Court in Johannesburg. I'll just move out of shot for you to just see some of the people that are in court ahead of the expected trial. We are seeing the Vusimuzi Matlala's wife, who is accused number 4 in the matter, is already in court. Accused number 5 also in this matter, and Nzama is already in court. But interestingly enough, what brings us to this court today is that attempted murder of Tebogo Thobejane, and I can tell you she's already also in court. And also remember, the shooting also is of the businessman Joe Sibanyoni. We've already also seen him in court. We have not seen, however, Sienki Mugubung in court. But remember, just to take you back, what brings us to this trial today, Vusimuzi Matlala and 4 others stand accused of attempted murder. The state is alleging that he was the mastermind behind these attempted murder cases of Tebogo Thobejane and 2 others, and also Joe Sibanyoni and 5 others, and also Sienki Mugubung, who was also with other people. So the state is saying essentially he will face 11 counts of attempted murder. But we're also expecting those alleged gunmen in this case to also make their appearance. The gunmen in this case is Diego Mabusela and Musakekana. What is important about these gunmen is the fact that, you know, this is not the only case where they have to answer to, but they would also have to answer to the case of Katiso Molefe, which involves Aman Swart and DJ Somebody. All the 5 accused have basically said that they are innocent of these cases. They believe the state's case is weak, and just to prove that from the accused side, we know that accused number 5 in the matter, Nzama, even had representations to the DPP, basically asking the DPP to withdraw the charges of money laundering against her. But the DPP did decline and indicated they continuing with the charges. They headed to the NDPP. The NDPP also declined and said they are continuing with the money laundering charges. And how do these charges of money laundering come in, Ayanda? Well, essentially the state in this case is saying that Vusimuzi Matlala, being the alleged mastermind, he paid monies to accused number 5, and then the monies then were to pay the alleged gunmen. The state is saying in this case that the monies did not go directly to the gunmen because they were trying to conceal the source and the reason of these payments that were made. When we come to Matlala, who is the wife, the state believes that she is essentially the accessory after the fact, after the incident herself, because when you remember, the state is saying that she is the one that took a receipt from the funeral parlor and took it to court as that receipt. The importance of it is that Matlala was saying that he was essentially paying the monies to accused too because of his mother's funeral. And we know Tsakani is the one that took that receipt to court. And the state is saying they were attempting to defeat the ends of justice, and she is an accessory after the fact. So those are just some of the charges that we will be hearing the state presenting. And I will will tell you that the state is already ready. They even have an overhead projector here, and they are likely to then present their case. We spoke to most of the defense attorneys in this case, and they've all indicated that they are ready to proceed with a trial today. And I really believe that they don't have much of a choice, because the judge who was essentially heading this case before we got to trial was very clear to say he doesn't want this case to take long. He doesn't want further delays to this case. Even Matlala's legal team itself, Ayanda, was also telling the court that the client wants a speedy trial. Matlala himself wants a speedy trial. He wants to remove this cloud that is hanging over his head. Matlala has always maintained his innocence, and among other things that he's even said that police were quick to say it is him that was behind these killings or the attempted killings before even looking at other potential people that they could accuse. And, when it comes to Thobejane, he's maintained his innocence, that despite them dating for just over a year, he had no reason to actually attempt to kill her. He even made an example during his trial, Ayanda, saying, why then would the state think that the attempted murder or the shootings were aimed at Thobejane and not the occupants that she was in the car with? Remember, one of the occupants, who is Thobejane's friend, has since been left paralyzed by that shooting incident. Matlala also, though, touching the state to say that he hasn't seen evidence that he was ever on the scene of the crimes. He is yet to see what the state has, but the state has always maintained that it's circumstantial evidence. Matlala would have to answer to them to say, why are there those payments that happen around the time of these shootings? You look at 5 days before Sienke Mukubung was shot at, the state is saying 10,000 rand came out of Matlala's business account, and it went into accused number 5. And then accused number 5 sent 4,500 rand to the alleged gunman, who is accused number 2 in this matter. During the time of Thobejane's shooting, also the state says there was that 100,000 rand that was also deposited from Matlala's bank account, and it went to accused number 5 in this matter. And then from accused number 5, it went to accused number 2. So the state says he must then explain why those transactions happened around the time of those shootings. But he has his own explanation. During his bail application, he explained that it was for funeral reasons. He explained to say that him and accused number 2 always give each other money or borrow each other money in that instance, so it's nothing untowards. But the state is not buying that reasoning from Matlala, and hence today we are here for this trial. And I'll just move in. I can see that the court is getting full as we speak, Ayanda. There's also high police presence in this instance. Matlala, remember, these investigations happened from as late as 2024, around December 2024. The PKTT was involved in this, even in his arrest. And, when he was challenging the state's case, he was talking about how the PKTT, when they got to his home, it was really bad. They even made him and his wife lie on the floor. They took his cell phones and many other things, even his watches. He was mentioning them in court, but the state was also clear to say that he must not mix the issues, because remember, Matlala is not only standing accused of this case alone. So the state was saying he has a lot of issues to answer to, and it can be the police that are involved in this case that perhaps went to his house and vandalized, like he was saying. So it's going to be a trial as it stands, but we will see. Previously, Matlala's lawyers were saying they don't want it to be long. The state must just bring the relevant witnesses to this case so that it can continue. We were earlier speaking to to the legal representative of accused number 5. They were basically also saying they don't understand how their client finds herself in this, and they feel that she's being, punished because of the bigger scheme of this case and who this case includes, essentially. And they think her part in this whole thing is so minute that even in this trial, they will be sitting most of this trial because she's not involved in most of these allegations that the other accused are facing, Ayanda. But we will see the legal representatives, including the state right now, are in the judge's chambers. The judge did ask that they come to the office. It's yet to be known what really was being discussed, but as it looks, everybody is ready to continue with this trial. Ayanda.
All right, Nerida Tlakutsa, our eyes and ears inside the High Court in Johannesburg, where we anticipate this all-important trial involving Vusimuzi, Matlala and others to get underway at any moment now. As soon as it does, we'll certainly take you back inside the courtroom as that gallery continues to fill up slowly but surely. Once again, Nerida Tlakutsa, great reporting. Thanks very much indeed.